Yeah.
It was not about the pump. It was about how amazing that card was.
It's always about the pump, George.
It's always about the pump. I'm pretty sure at one point you said Carnival Barker to 1K.
Oh, I definitely said that. Go to sleep, little one. All right.
Go to sleep, baby.
The people didn't want us to eat these on the podcast anymore, but we are still allowed to talk about how amazingly collectible all the products are. Is that right, Louie?
Whoa. Welcome to MetaZoo with you.
You can't do it. Nobody likes your low energy garbage. Your low energy trash.
Let's go. Bring it, baby. Let's go.
Welcome to MetaZoo with you, America's most favorite collectible TCG podcast. We are also the crunchiest. I am, of course, joined. Oh, you put the hair away.
Yeah, I like the hair.
Yeah,
show him the hair.
hat.
Show him the mop.
Yes.
Oh, there's my kitchen mop.
Oh my God, I'm joined by the beast, Josh.
It's got to go soon, man. It's got to go soon.
I don't know how you. Isn't it hotter than heck there?
Yeah, dude.
It's getting warm. It's getting warm, buddy.
Not comfortable.
It's getting warm.
I'm, of course, joined by the man who talks about Pokemon once every quarter, Louie DeGeorge.
I would talk about Pokemon every single day. If
you wouldn't. You have a channel in which you never talk about Pokemon.
I should have pivoted to Pokemon. Biggest regrets in my life.
I have a previous one if you're interested.
And we're joined by a man with nothing but indie TCG regrets, George. And everybody, welcome back.
It's true.
To week 3 of us being sponsored to our amazing sponsor, Booster Snacks. We will not be eating chips. The comment section, I get it. You know, we like to snack. What can we tell you? And when we snack, we choose Booster Snacks. Okay. And a lot of times we're hungry on the podcast. We do.
I loved how you just chewed. I love how you shoved your face full of Booster Snack, ran up to the mic and chomped.
Yeah. When I put the Booster Snacks in my mouth, the mic went here and the body went here.
I got mad at you, and so I chomped into the microphone. Apparently, the comment section didn't get that. So, comment section, we're not eating the Booster Snacks, but we are going to rip open. Josh, you pick. What color do you want? I'm going to rip it open. One of the.
Oh, red. There's only one. I want the red one.
It's definitely orange, but your color.
I want the orange one.
Here's Booster Rewards. This is part of the case. If you order a case of Booster Snacks, go to boostersnackusa.com.
You also Snacks get, US, you got it?
Oh yeah, it's just Booster Snack US. What do we get? It's hard to show you. I got the serialized Fire Bronco, baby. 12 of 100.
But Louie, I don't want to pay full price. Is there a discount code I can use?
Use the code collect50, everybody. All caps, collect.
Now, is that like a 10% off coupon? Because that's good. No. That's worth it still.
If it was 10% off, it would be the code collect10.
Oh, is this more?
It's collect50 for 50% off.
Wow. That's an amazing value.
Amazing value. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. You're welcome for the amazing
full
value.
Price is for the sucker podcast.
Yeah.
All right. You go watch the garbage podcast, you're paying full price for your delicious goodies.
And also, no, I mean, if you're watching a podcast on garbage, that's fine. Maybe that's your thing. But welcome to the real garbage podcast. May this be with you.
Yeah. We covered dead card games.
So hold on. You're bearing the lead. You're bearing the lead. Rudy made a statement saying he's all in on serialized cards. Do you think he'd grade the Booster Snack card?
Wait,
do you think he'd grade it?
Did he really say he's all in serialized cards?
Yeah. I don't buy that.
Not all in. He just said he's interested. He's buying it.
I don't buy that for a second.
Last week it was Rudy mentioned Pokemon. He's GOAT. He gets it. It's just me and him against the world.
I don't think I said that. I think I said the second part, but I don't think I said that he was GOAT and he just cares about Pokemon. All right, everyone.
We throw the term GOAT around on this podcast too much.
Yeah. George, you want to talk about the people you've called GOAT?
You want to talk about the people you've called George?
Bob Iger.
All right, today we're going to talk about the Magic
and
Band
the CEO of Booster Snacks
and the future of unsets. Today we're going to talk about what the funk. See, it didn't hit. No one thinks it's funny. Your guys' was bad. Mine was funnier. Chat,
yours was terrible.
We're going to talk about Cynthia Williams. I said it should be the funk Cynthia Williams, and they said what the funk.
What the funk is a way better.
Nope, it's not. We're going to talk about beta. Oh, this is supposed to say beta. I guess 2.0. Beta 2.0. The new print from Asia. We're going to talk about the new Sorcery beta. We're going to talk about Pokemon to GameStop. I'm going to talk about it. These two bozos will probably just FUD it all out. Get the FUD button.
Nope, I won't. I'll be listening intently.
We're going to talk about an Enchanted week. It is Lorcana release week for LGSs. We'll talk about the Enchanteds. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. Or not. We're going to put our mouth where our money isn't and talk about what Enchanteds we think are going to be worth the most. And we're going to talk about what it means for the LGS.
Elsa.
And then we're gonna really get into it this week. The MetaZoo updates with Mr. Mike Waddle.
We're not talking about the cryptic updates.
We can do both. They're both dead card games. So we can talk about it.
Like you guys talk about cryptic 3 times a week in your store. I want to hear what your store's thoughts are on it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get right into it. The Magic bans.
Why did this become a personal attack podcast?
Yeah, it's all right.
Makes me sad.
Listen,
whatever. Always been a personal attack.
Whatever I can do to make George's life better and happier, I'm all in on.
I appreciate it. When did you also take this line? You did this last week.
Hey, I'm
you like to be the punching bag line for some reason.
Yeah, if you need to be a punching
you're like
bag.
Are you white knighting yourself?
No, I'm just like, I'm a good friend, man.
This is
good
weird.
Friends are there for each other.
I think if you're a good friend, other people tell it to you. You don't say it to the world. Like other people tell you.
He tattoos on his chest, good friend. He's like, I am a good friend.
I would never get a tattoo on my chest. That seems silly. My chest is far too small.
Same.
I don't have like a masculine chest.
The Captain America.
Like,
you don't have the
area
Captain
was
America.
Too small.
No, my boobs they're probably too big, to be honest. Yeah.
That's my problem. A little saggy.
Guys, TCGs. Let's go.
I thought that's what we were talking about. All right, here we go. Make me one of your anime girls. Make me one of your anime girls.
I want to be a secret lair.
Wizards of the Coast is using Louis to take over the Japanese market. I knew it.
I want to be a secret lair.
All right. Effective May 13th, which was
worst decision in Magic history.
They have banned all sticker cards, which
worst decision ever. Worst decision ever.
The recent unset had sticker cards from Legacy and Vintage.
Gone. And Pauper, right? Wasn't there sticker and attraction cards and Pauper as well? Gone.
But I think I don't remember
exactly. Gone from all of them.
Pauper, it's probably at the bottom. Oh, just all that glitters. The sticker cards are still legal, I guess.
I think the sticker cards banned and everything.
It just says on their list that it's, but maybe we're wrong. It just says Legacy and Vintage.
I think it's banned. I think it's banned but
yeah. Oh, it is Pauper. It's literally at the top. Freaking idiot. I'm so stupid.
Louis, you're an amazing, intelligent human being, and you're gorgeous.
And you're a great friend.
And you're a great friend.
Their formatting was bad. So shout out to Andrew Brown for his formatting.
This is what happens when Cynthia Williams goes to Funks.
It had to be Mark Rose.
She funked up, dude. Yeah, funked up.
And then they banned some other stuff.
Legacy I'm looking at the announcement. Legacy, Vintage, and Pauper. All the cards that bring a sticker or attraction to the game are banned. How'd you miss this, buddy? It's the first sentence.
I know. Well, I jumped to Legacy and Vintage.
Louis, I think you're totally capable of reading. I got your back. You're welcome. Good friend.
It's fine. But more importantly, they banned all that glitters, and all that glitters in Pauper single-handedly has killed Pauper at my store, which is saying something because we used to have like 13 to 15 people show up for Pauper. It was like our most busy night, and then everybody played all the glitters, and then nobody wanted to play anymore. So
Throne. You know what? Throne is such like even I know Throne was a bad set, like way too powerful.
But we know, audience, that you're bored already of talking about the actual ban list.
Yeah, because nobody cares. I said this.
Josh and I thought it would be better. We didn't consult George because
that follows.
We say we're good friends, but we don't actually care about him.
Can you put hashtag Team George in the comment section so I don't cry myself?
A good dialogue to have would be: is this the end for unsets?
What?
By the way, I like that you shoehorned yourself in here. That Josh and I thought This is just my topic.
Josh, Josh and I thought this would be a good topic to discuss because we were.
Which one of you morons thinks this is the last unset?
It was all Josh. Josh thought it was a good topic to discuss.
I don't have any good ideas. Let me have a single good idea.
I think it's
America's most sensitive TCG podcast this week.
I want to have.
Good Lord, you guys!
I got one good idea. I want to have it. It's the only one I've ever had,
y'all.
It's the only one I've ever had.
What's going on with your hand? What is happening this week?
I don't know, but we need to do around the horn episode. That'd be so.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So which one of you idiots thought this was the last unset ever?
That'd be Josh. I agreed with it, but I'm going back on that statement just because
that's a bad statement.
No, I don't think it is.
It's a terrible statement. Why would they get rid of this?
Because in order to sell unsets, they had to put shocklands in it and then make the cards legal on everything. And now they're making everything illegal. So like it obviously didn't work.
That didn't work.
So I don't think it's viable. It's not worth their design and time and effort if they can't actually sell the product.
Why did people buy unsets before, George? Why are people still interested in old? Booyah! You nailed it.
I know.
What's Magic do? What's Magic do now with every single release?
Gathering. If you guess the card, win the card. I'm going to get it right 90% of the time.
What's Magic do with every single release and every single secret lair?
Is it a Black Lotus?
The forest.
Damn it! So close. It's a land.
Wait. Guess the card. Win the card.
Is it a horse?
It is.
One. They'll do unsets. Like unsets are fun and they're easy.
They're not though. They're not easy. The design that they put into the unsets is actually pretty deep. Like the drafting and the limited experience is actually pretty deep.
I think they might do away with them for a year or two, but like they're going to come back. People love them.
I don't think so.
I think people like them.
I think people used to love them, and I think there used to be. I think there used to be a space for them, though. George, I think you're right.
I know. I always am.
But not anymore. All of Magic the Gathering is now built around the idea of playing, Magic and Commander for fun and making your own rules and making your own
Commander.
That's it. Hold on.
They're like Magic and Commander.
So maybe it's not fair to say unsets will go away, but I think unset boxes are going to go away. Maybe they do an unset commander set.
Oh no! Complete the take.
Yeah.
What would you merge unset with to make it the most evil thing in the world?
What do you mean?
Secret lair. Unset secret lair.
Maybe an unset secret lair commander deck, something like that.
I think people still like them. I think people still have fun with the boxes.
Like people want to draft unsets once or twice and then they're done with them. That's
cards true for most modern Magic, though. There's not like
that's not true for most modern Magic. No. I have
most modern Magic are not drafting 8 weeks. Like they're doing it twice and they're going on to something else or next man in.
And nobody wants to draft
woman in or person in.
And nobody wants to draft an unset because the cards are worthless. And so that's why they tried to
modern Magic draft boxes.
No, that
is not true.
They tried to make the boxes have value. Now they don't because they're banned.
I also think they have tons of like weird lands they can shove in there. Like
no. There's there's a new land in every single box.
No, those to me like
he's talking shock land equivalents.
Yeah, there's something else like a different kind of shock land.
So what, they're gonna put fetch lands? They're gonna take what they're putting through Modern Horizons 3 that actually sells. They're gonna put that in? I don't think so, man.
No.
I think they'll do something else. I think unsets are here for a while.
I don't think so. I think we've lost a lot of the reasons or a lot of places where unsets shine, man.
I don't think so. I think people I think it's still a way for Magic community to have fun. Like, I think that's what it's for. It's like lighthearted fun for the holidays.
I love unsets, and I'm a huge fan of them. And I will be
everybody
sad.
Does.
I will be sad if they go away because they are fun. I didn't really think this one was that fun to draft because the sticker mechanics suck so bad.
That was a little rough. But they had the best card ever made.
Unsets are fun when they're unsets.
Yeah.
I have a stack of Carnival Barker cards still. I have a bunch of Galaxy ones.
You should have gone. You should have gone with the blank goblin instead, because that card actually pumped.
Yeah,
it was not about the pump. It was about how amazing that card was.
It's always about the pump, George.
It's always about the pump. I'm pretty sure at one point you said Carnival Barker to 1K.
Oh, I definitely said that.
I'd put a 1K on that.
I definitely said that. That means nothing, though. I used to say something was going to 1K. Now it sells less for the sales tax on that of 1K.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a whole booster box.
This doesn't have to be a long conversation. I just think I think we're done. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But this to me
is a great topic.
Screams the end.
Yeah.
All right.
It was worth getting.
Anything else?
No, it's really great.
What the funk?
Cynthia doing us dirty. All right.
Moving on.
That's
So
Moving on up.
Cynthia Williams, the former head of WOTC. And I have some new
President.
Presidente.
is now the CEO of Funko Pops.
I don't remember electing her, first of all.
You voted for her.
Wrong kind of Presidente, buddy.
I don't want to say what I'm thinking. And the
And you just
wow.
get
And and so now he's the CEO of Funko Pop, and I think, like, listen, congrats to Funko Pop. The biggest thing I learned the last 2 weeks that made me really depressed, one of the many things I learned the last weeks that made me really depressed, is that how much bigger D&D is than Magic the Gathering. I want to congratulate all three of us, though, for finding the smallest subset of the smallest subsidiary of a small company to discuss every week. I think we really nailed our future trajectory and our future plans.
Your hatred for TCGs in this season of the podcast makes the podcast a little difficult sometimes.
I couldn't care less.
I know you
I
don't.
want to talk about anything else. I could not have been clearer about this. I did not play hide the ball.
Somebody in the comment section last week was like, "Please give me the crypto podcast with E3."
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be something to talk about. Versus, hey, these 5 people play this game. Let's talk about it every week.
I want to get.
what's his name is back.
Who? I'm in.
What's his name? The meme guy from Wall Street.
Yes, deep effing value. I'm in.
He's
I
back.
will say this right now. If you buy GameStop on Robinhood, log off. I never want to see you watching this podcast again. Robinhood, persona non grata here.
That's not true.
Not the sponsor of this podcast.
we want
the
you
anti-sponsor.
Okay, so here's my take on Cynthia Williams.
Louis like, please don't leave.
What about Robinhood?
This screams to me that she left Wizards and Wizards didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't. Wizards
me in
didn't
the
know.
first half.
Wait,
Well, like,
You had me in the first half.
But they don't have a replacement yet.
hold on. Is Wizards of the Coast so not communicative with themselves that people are still walking around thinking she still works there? You think?
There you go. I can't wait for the Cynthia Williams secret layer. It's all Funko Pops
and cigarettes. The secret layer comes in a cigarette box.
I
she
think
did a job quick.
I think the next head of Hasbro has a really hard job, and like it's funny. I was talking to a few people about this over the last week or so. This is actually one of those topics that interests me because I was also talking to them about the fundraise, about the bond that they took out, and I was convinced that the head of Hasbro had a really tough job because, like, Cynthia, like the last D&D video game did so unbelievably well. It's going to be really hard to back that up. The next one's going to be really hard to hit that level of success.
Yeah.
I know, like, the book nerds were really unhappy with Cynthia. Sorry. But, like, nobody cares. Like, it's a digital world. And so, like, I think Cynthia's going to be a really tough act to follow. And I think, like, get out on top. Good for her.
Do you think Funko is that a step up? CEO of Funko
so.
is that a step up?
Yeah. When you go from
I was just pulling up.
When you go, listen, and maybe this is Cynthia knows something that we don't, because on paper, if I was looking at a resume, I was looking at
small
articles.
Market cap. Holy smokes, it's a small market cap.
But if you go from president of Wizards of the Coast, right, you move on to CEO of somewhere, do a short tenure there and go to move on to the next thing, the resume starts to look pretty good. It starts to look like you're climbing that ladder in a very good direction, especially if, let's say, things at Wizards of the Coast don't go so well once you leave.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Let's say they have trouble generating a little more revenue once she's gone. Not because of her, but because of the world we live in now.
I also think Funko's in a really interesting spot, and I think she knows that. Like, she could really change the direction of Funko Pops.
What's she gonna do? Make it go digital?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what she's there for. That's absolutely what she's there for.
What's a digital Funko Pop?
Yeah, what's a non-fungible token?
NFT, Louis.
Nobody wants that crap either.
If anyone's
This is
buying
why we need to do the crypto podcast.
Nobody
So we
wants
can
it.
attack your dumb points one by one. This is why we need it.
Nobody wants that.
Everybody wants
We've
that.
done that. Nobody wants it. You're a scammer. You and Tom Brady. You and Tom Brady can go and scam.
George is not
everybody.
a scammer; he's a bored ape.
Josh gets it. Market cap. Boom.
Like-
so, I think it's a move.
I mean, like Louis, in your defense, I apologize to you. ETH only has a market cap 50 times
That's
out of
not what
Hasbro.
I said. I didn't say
50
cryptocurrency
times out of
was a scam.
Hasbro. I apologize.
I said NFTs were a scam.
Yeah.
Be very clear.
but
That's what I said.
So ETH not a scam, NFT's a scam.
Yep.
Explain that to me.
Nah, I'm just joking.
There you go. Like at the end, like
I'm just
This
taking the take.
this
no,
is like,
wait, you could totally defend that. That doesn't seem
yeah,
that
you could
hard.
if you're wrong. This is
No,
going to be
Most NFTs are a scam.
sure.
I think George would just shout over you while you defended it, but I think you could defend it.
I mean, like, I think this is like Cynthia Williams gets the chance to make Funko Pop her own, and I think that's a big opportunity for her. She's trying to become the collectibles CEO. Like, that's what she wants to be.
No, dude, stop.
Do you know?
I think that's what she wants to be. I think she wants to be the one that brings collectibles into the digital era. I think that's absolutely what she wants to be known for.
You know what's funny is we started this conversation with you congratulating the three of us idiots for picking the smallest subset of the smallest area, and Cynthia Williams is all in on like, you know what? I like that career path. I'm doing what those guys are doing.
There's like 5% of people who are collectors care about digital collectibles. Nobody
I
cares about-
don't think that's true, but I also think that's where the future is.
It's not. It's not.
I think it is.
The
I think
future-
like
it's not.
I think Funko Pops has a real problem now. They've saturated the market. There's 10,000 different variations of everything. They have the magic problem in a weird way. So like I think Cynthia's there to kind of clean up that mess. And I think she'll do it. Like I think she was a very good CEO.
I'm gonna bring parenting up because I have been amazed in the last year. My 5-year-old kid loves hoarding and collecting stupid little tiny trinkets.
Where did she get that from, do you think?
It's all kids, probably mostly my kid too, but all kids. And I actually listened to a podcast that was talking about it and how we are wired as humans to just like collect things in the tangible nature of items. Like look at Josh's background of crappy dead TCGs, right? Like we are wired, we are wired to collect tangible physical things. I don't think that you can carry that over into a digital world.
So I agree with you mostly.
Tangible is the reason it hits our brain in a different way.
I think we also need to remember that there's literal evidence of core human things like this changing. We were wired as social creatures to value the face-to-face and human in-person interaction. That has changed.
Yeah, now we're just all depressed because all we do is scroll up on our phone all the time.
You might be, but not everybody. The value of a digital
Twitter 24/7.
Yes, the value of a
had Twitter for a month now, baby.
The value of a digital connection and a digital friendship has skyrocketed. If you were to apply an intrinsic value to that, it's insane.
I've seen you twice, including one time for lunch for 15 minutes, and I've seen Josh twice, including one time for my great granddaughter's birthday.
Yeah, and we've done a podcast together every week for a year. And wait, let me finish. And we talk every day on the phone. And Donald is still my best friend.
Oh, okay. I saw you. Okay, I was like, where are you going with this?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I want to give a shout out to my best friend, Lauren, at an ALS fundraiser in West Virginia today, where Louis is not tonight. I've noticed.
I didn't even know there was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would have gone.
Happy ALS Awareness Month, Louis.
With you guys. I'm shooting my podcast with you guys because you couldn't shoot on the day that we typically shoot. So you're welcome.
I have to go. I have to go.
Why are we shooting on different days the next two times?
We're not. That's not public knowledge. We're not.
Code word clearance only, Josh. Come on, buddy. I mean, like, I guess, like Louis, like, I think the world's becoming more digital. Like kids like my students don't believe that I grew up without the internet. They don't believe me. Like they can't fathom that world.
I'm not saying the world's not going more digital. I'm saying that people will always want to collect physical things.
That could be true. That doesn't mean they won't want to collect digital things too, though.
They will, and this is where you're both a bit insane. Like George, we're not going to become the metaverse.
Josh's word of the day is insane.
This is the only one. This is the only place where we're not insane, though, George.
Insane in the brain.
You're both insane. Like it's
the day.
we're not going to become the metaverse, and everything that we own is not going to be digital. That's not going to happen.
I love how Louis is looking at his kid on his digital phone,
and we're also not going to consider digital
particularly like a man
non-collectible and just completely avoid it forever either. It's going to be integrated into collectibles, and there's going to be an increase in digital collectibles. But physical collectibles aren't going away. There's in our lifetime. The people collecting physical things
Magic every month.
we're not. The physical collections aren't going away though.
Josh plays digital Magic every month.
I don't see a world where Funko goes digital. I think Funko,
they already have. They have something called Wax, but like much more importantly, I think it's about how do you create the ecosystem for it to work. Like I think that's what Cynthia. I think that is what she wants to do. She wants to be that person.
good luck to her. We will not be talking about that in the future because we don't care about Funko Pops. I hate
only
Funko Pops.
I don't like Funko Pops either.
Funko Pops are the dumbest collectible.
They're Beanie Babies.
They're Beanie Babies, and they're not even soft and comfortable. You don't even get to cuddle with them.
I struggle to criticize collectibles, as you can see. You don't have the best taste in the world.
I think that's true. I think you've been pretty critical about most of the stuff in the background.
This is better than Funko Pops. I'd rather have almost everything on this shelf than Funko Pops. Almost.
Well, see a box of CN2 there that I heard can't sell for $4. So.
No. This is whoa. This is CN1.
Sorry, $6.
Thank you. Respect the $2 increase, sir.
Let's chill.
It's like a fancy shelf too. Your shelf is definitely worth more than the boxes on
by
the
a
shelf.
lot.
Yeah,
buddy, the shelf was free. It was a garbage pick.
Still worth more.
It's a garbage pick.
I don't know. It's interesting to me to see her have a job so quick. It tells me
it was clearly planned. Like,
that's what it told me. She left.
Like we kind of thought when we talked.
Could you imagine a
former head of Wizards of the Coast?
And then calling her, hi, I have a job for you in Indiana. It pays $55,000 a year. I'd like to. And Cynthia Williams.
Yeah, but like when we talked about it, we were talking more like Magic fired Cynthia. That's what our attitude was about Cynthia.
No, we were super open. We didn't know.
I'm pretty sure that's how we interacted. That's definitely not how I interacted.
That's definitely how you interacted. That's for sure.
And this tells me they are more happy with the way that Cynthia was going than
I don't know why they wouldn't be. Like, I get that. I get like 15 nerds are really mad at her. I really do.
Yeah, but when there's only 30, I
am positive that those 15 nerds will be in your comment section. Shout out to you guys.
When there's only 30 nerds, that's a lot of people.
But like that's not because they don't care about them anymore. They're doing the video games. Like that's the point. Is that like he understands that like it's about the video game. It's not about the book.
I'm all in on a Magic video game. All in on an actual Magic video game.
It exists. It's called Arena.
Arena is not a thing. That's not a actively like. I mean like a way to enhance Magic. I want Skyrim, but it's Magic the Gathering. That's what I want. I want a Skyrim level development and team.
That's what Cynthia Williams did for D&D.
Right. I want that for Magic. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm rooting for you. Chief.
Even like with Baldur's Gate, they could have had DLC that was Magic characters to play as in Baldur's Gate. Stuff like that could be cool. What?
The 4 people who buy it.
No, stop. There's a lot of crossover there.
Nobody wants to play as a Magic character. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's playing as Oko.
It would give me something sweet to stream.
Well, like when you throw a cowboy hat on them, it doesn't make sense. But like, that was cool. Did you guys see that?
Cynthia Williams?
Yeah. No, that was one of my collections.
It better not be the serialized one. Rudy's never going to grade it now.
It was the non-serialized one.
Good.
I only collect the serialized ones. Those are the ones I like.
I'm a sealed product investor. Sealed product booster snack investor.
I can't stop ripping them and I can't stop eating them. It's actually great that everybody told us not to eat anymore because I finished all of them.
2 weeks. This is the 2 hours a week. So, Louis won't be eating booster snacks.
So can I confess? I had chips left over, and when we got the message that we can't eat them anymore, I ate the last bag of chips.
I did the exact same thing. To be honest. Exact same thing.
I saved it for the podcast.
All right.
Are we talking about the bond at all or no?
Congratulations. What?
We're talking about the bond at all?
Yeah,
sure. Go for it.
Tell us all about.
So Hasbro borrowed $500 million this past week
to make a new video game, to hire a new president,
to make NFTs.
So the last time they borrowed money was to purchase E1. The general thought is that this is because they're getting ready for declining consumer sentiment, and they want this to kind of. This has been the theme of Wall Street the last, I would say, week. It's been like people are getting ready for inflation seems to finally be affecting people's spending habits. I know it's affected people for a very long time, but it seems to be negatively impacting consumer habits for the first time. Consumer confidence fell 14% this week. Like people are starting to act on what they should have been acting on for the last few months. And so there's a lot of thought this was meant to kind of shore up the books and kind of get ready for a little bit of a wintry mix headed our way in the collectible space and in the consumer space.
It's summer, baby.
Well, it's winter and like you don't spend a lot. Like it's cold outside.
Hibernate.
You hibernate.
Yeah. It's like when I hear stuff like that, I think it's silly because like the reason that it's going to be down 14% is that we all just got a bunch of free money from our tax returns, and like that would
make it go up though.
No, that happened 3 months ago. Like that's what this huge boom was. You guys disagree with me. I think that huge boom 3 months ago in pretty much every game other than like one. I think that huge boom was because of tax returns. Like we saw it all across the board for the most part.
Well, that's true or not doesn't matter. Like I think they're borrowing money. I think to kind of get ready for what's coming. I think it's smart of them. Like they had no problem getting the money, right? It was like I will say that there was two things that really stood out to me. First, like they were not offering a lot on top of government bonds, and they had to give out even less of a little bit on top than they expected to. So they had no problem raising money whatsoever. Now there was a lot of debt floating around.
And this was Hasbro or Wizards?
Hasbro. I thought it was interesting. I think it's really now. I know you guys before had said that like it's a really good sign for companies when they borrow money, a la Asmodee. I still am not fully sure I agree with that. You said it was a sign of great confidence. Confidence.
That is such a reconstruction of that dialogue.
You guys said it showed great confidence in their business that they could take on all the debt.
You should feel ashamed of yourself for that.
Don't ever. I never do.
It was Mother's Day last week. You definitely didn't kiss your mother with that mouth, though. Like that's
true. She lives in a very different state.
That was a complete reconstruction of the truth.
What was your argument?
Our argument was that the company didn't take on additional debt. The company already had debt, and the
debt existed. They didn't go out and seek debt.
All the companies and put it all onto one.
Yeah,
and the only one successful. You got to put it somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Hasbro's very successful. They can take on all this debt.
Hasbro didn't have to put it somewhere. Pre-existing debt, not a thing.
Like
not Hasbro was something that we have to put somewhere.
Very bold of them.
We just went out and saw two very different things.
I think it's
two very different things.
You said a lot of false things on this podcast in the past.
That one was pretty.
That one was
fine.
That one was a little bit.
I'm goat. That's fine. I'm goat.
If that's what bothers you, you had a long way to go.
No, I'm not bothered.
Oh no, yeah,
I'm not bothered. No, there's nothing you can do to bother me at this point.
That's good, except for crunching chips. And so the so I mean, like, I don't know. I thought it was very interesting they borrowed that money.
Yeah, like I hope they borrow that money and they do like something good with it, not just squander it on this crap like they've been buying. Like their history on this is so bad.
I like how their history is one thing.
Yeah, but it was awful. It was so bad. And like it doesn't give me much confidence that they're probably going to put it into like Nerf. Like Nerf is like such a stupid
Furby's back, baby.
Yeah. Like, it's like such a like,
I love how they're the Monopoly Go company now. We're like Nerf is stupid.
No, all that, Louis. It is fair that Hasbro knows that they can do this because they know Wizards of the Coast is going to earn it all back.
Yeah.
Like big win.
I mean, like for Wizards side, I'm guessing any money that goes to Wizards would just go to whatever next IP they want. It's like hypothetically, they need money for Marvel.
I think they're just getting ready in case sales go down. Like I think they're getting ready for. I mean, like the general theme was a lot of companies revised their expectations for the rest of the year down pretty significantly. Even the GOAT, Bob Iger, had to revise his numbers down.
Who's he?
The guy who just has the #1 box office movie this past week. Shout out to the Planet of the Apes Part 25. And so
That says more about the movie industry than it does about
Planet of the
Bob
Apes is
Iger.
great.
That's,
You guys are too young.
Stop
You guys are too young.
You're
Planet of
too
the Apes is
old.
great.
You're too old.
Yeah.
If you like Planet of the Apes, I'm sorry, but
I
you
moved a pallet of boxes today, and I will tell you, I am too old. I also went to a rock concert. Went to a rock concert this past weekend,
I heard that.
and I confirmed I was
Not
way
a
too old.
rock concert. You went to a metal concert. I did not. Josh, did you know that George was a metalhead?
no. Dude,
Wait, hold
when
on.
you go to a hold on.
Hold on. George, tell him the band. Josh, tell me if you've ever heard of this band.
Have you heard of the band Stained?
Yeah.
Thank
I've
you.
never listened to
Thank you.
I've never
Thank
listened to a
you.
song with them, but I've heard of the band.
Josh is also old.
That's
How old are
fair.
you, Josh?
35?
Yeah. So Josh is in the middle
Stained
of
was
us three.
huge in the 90s.
I've heard of Stained.
Never heard of it.
I will say, it was fine. Two things. I felt absolutely morally compelled to take a nap before the concert and to get Starbucks on the way. I had to get the juice.
Starbies. God.
Yeah.
I don't
love
respect
Starbies.
you.
I love Starbucks. You are very negative today. What happened to the best friend tattoo? What happened to the best friend tattoo?
It's
All of
gone.
a sudden, you're getting that tattoo removal surgery.
It left when you called it Starbies.
It left before that.
The people at my Starbucks know me by first name. They know my order,
yeah.
but I won't call it Starbucks.
Yeah,
There's a line.
It's like
There's a line.
a little bit far to call.
There's a line.
I love Starbucks.
You got to turn off the Taylor Swift concert.
Never.
You have to.
Never.
You
I
have
will
to
say
turn
this.
it
My
off.
other thought was like these old fogies are doing an hour and 10 minute set. Tay-Tay's doing 3.5 hours.
I'm pretty sure it's actually a brainwashing technique at this point.
Not
You
her
just said Starbies into a microphone.
I love Starbucks.
So get to your main point, which can I tell you?
I'm
what you mean?
old. I'm old and
No.
everything hurts.
That's not what you actually care about. Can I tell you what you actually care about?
No, he actually cares about that part.
I actually care about that way more than anything else you're
Nope.
about to say.
You cared that they didn't play only their hits. They played new albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody goes to a band that was popular 20 plus years ago to hear their new Drek. I only want stuff from the albums that people actually bought. Don't play me anything from the last 20 years. I will not care.
Louis.
I will not know the words.
I disagree with this with Blink-182. Like, I love Blink-182's new album.
There was
But I'm saying they did a great job of playing it all. They played the whole thing.
there
Yeah,
was
they did.
one jackass
They played the
next
whole
to
thing.
me because I was in the pit. I was in the pit with my Crocs. And I went with somebody and they were like, "Are you going to really wear your Crocs in the pit?" And I said, "I took them out of relax mode. What more do you want from me?"
They're in sport mode.
Jesus mode.
You wear your Crocs in relax mode? I always think they're going to fall off my feet.
That's
Yeah,
because
I
you have
can't
no
do it.
grace. I am graceful.
It's fair.
I'm like a ballerina.
Strolls into his Starbies.
And so like I stroll into the Starbies. And so like they're like they start off with songs I know. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Then they're like, no, we're gonna play some new stuff. I'm like, well, I'm out.
Okay.
Seether, who opened for them. Have you heard of Seether, Josh?
No, I have no idea. No clue who Seether is.
I have
I'm
not heard of
I'm not a
them.
metalhead.
Opened. They did a very good job. They got it. Sting's
Last
pretty
mosh
good.
pit I was in
Little
was
old.
Streetlight Manifesto, and that was
Okay.
so much fun.
That's moving on. And that's
What did y'all?
what are we talking
No.
about? What?
No,
No, we've been on a pretty big tangent. It's time to talk about TCGs for 5 minutes. Then we can go back to Taylor Swift or whatever.
Did you know
Beta.
she had
Dude.
more plays than basically than like certain genres of music? God,
That doesn't
amazing.
surprise me.
She's
Not
old
all.
news.
Yeah.
Old news.
I'm out.
Old news. It's
Okay.
friends.
So Sorcery beta this past week, everybody, I guess a week and a half ago, everybody started getting the beta boxes that they ordered from stores who got it from Singapore and United States people.
They're
got
illegal beta boxes.
They're not illegal. They're expensive.
The questionable beta boxes, the morally questionable beta boxes,
Why are they morally questionable?
because they're starving the whole region of the world that doesn't have beta
Oh,
in their
that's why
hands.
they sent it, and then Singapore
Morally questionable beta boxes.
all the USA people.
All right.
Um,
I need to. When you're done, I have something to say.
Oh, what do you want to say?
All right. I got called out by somebody.
No. What are
Was
you
it
doing?
me?
In our comment section?
No, I don't care about the comment section. I got called out by somebody I actually respect. And
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah. And so they were like, they called me. I'll give them credit. It was nobody who works for Sorcery, nobody who's affiliated with Sorcery. And they were
Was
like,
it Louis?
it was not Louis. It was I said it was somebody I respect, Josh.
Yeah.
And they were like, I think you're being way too harsh on Sorcery. So instead of Louis' dead topic number 50 of him trying to find
This
the
is
lowest
actually not a dead
find,
topic at all.
This is not a dead topic at all. This
is
sounds really
a very
interesting.
important topic.
I'm going to go with my topic anyway.
Illegally
And
imported beta
We'll talk
boxes.
about both. We'll talk about both.
Okay. So I want to lay out what this young, I won't say man or woman, topic was to me. And I want, Louis, I know you'll agree. Josh, I want to lay out the argument for you and you can tell me what your thoughts are. That sound fair?
Sounds great. I'm in.
Best friend Josh. And so he said, you are giving too much. You are giving too much time, too much energy to the bad influences in Sorcery. He's like, I agree with you that like the scammers, not scammers, the people who do things that are morally questionable in your eyes are doing bad things. There's a secret price now. Woo-hoo-hoo. You gotta know the secret code to bid. But my best friend said it was real. Like all this nonsense. And that's in every new TCG. He goes like, George, like I agree with you that that's stupid and bad. He goes, I even agree with you that the prices are too high. He goes, I don't think that actually matters. He goes, I want to argue to you two things. Ready, Josh?
I'm holding on for dear life.
He fell asleep, but he's back.
This is a great story, and you guys have no taste.
I'm wondering what the secret things are.
You don't get to accuse us of being sensitive and then be sensitive on the podcast.
Thing number one. He said they are the only game, or she said they are the only game to actually figure out a way to give back to the LGS for behavior that should be incentivized. And let me lay out my argument for you, Dr. Josh, if that's allowed.
Sure, you got to tell me how they did it. I'm in.
So if you notice behind you, there's a list of beautiful card games that have all had had promos exclusive to big online game stores that I think we have all rightfully attacked. That we've all said that's bad for the game to have that.
Team no promos.
Sorcery has said that's, I'm going to do that. I think we've said that's wrong. And I agree with him that that's wrong. They should not do that. But they also said that we're going to give back to the LGS. If you run tournaments, if you have games, if you play games, if you open boxes for singles, which is the ways you support a community, that we're going to give you dust codes, but you can turn into promos for your customers, promos for your, for your store, et cetera, et cetera. So the way they're giving back to the store and to the people who are playing are through the dust codes. And he said, you're not giving them enough credit for actually giving back to the LGS through those means.
And I mean, on top of that, dust codes not just from ripping boxes, but for events.
Literally what I said. But thank you for restating what I said.
You didn't say event. The word event once was never.
I said event. I said tournaments. I said tournaments.
You're so sensitive.
Move it.
But it's okay.
Both of you.
Lying. You're liar.
Both of you. Both of you.
Donald.
Hey, down. No.
No, Donald's my best friend.
Don't come after Donald.
No, I won't come after Donald.
Poor Donald.
Go to scruffygaming.org and subscribe. Continue, Joshua.
Is that the end of your point?
Number one.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems fine. That seems fair and clear. I don't know if we wanted to get into minutia. I don't know if the dust code is the way to do it, but I don't have a better idea off the top of my head. That doesn't jump off the page to me as like, oh man, look at this massive way of giving back. But it is doing that, and that deserves credit. So yeah.
Well,
I think they could do store kits once a quarter versus once at a release. I think that's a fair thing. But like, if you look at the games behind you, they're trying to figure out how you support stores.
Give them the boxes instead of giving them all to Team Covenant.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Like that's my and the other stuff is good, but like that's what I would prefer to see over the dust codes. I'd like stores.
But I think I can't think of an LGS who has tried a more novel way to support the LGS.
Oh no, this is way better than anything we've seen in indie TCGs. Yeah, I mean, it does not shaft the LGS at all, which is it's a rare change.
Like, I think they should have more boxes.
Hold on, let me qualify some things. On other games have done some cool stuff for LGSs too. Like I don't want to say that other games haven't done. The problem with the way that other games have done things with LGSs is that the vast majority of that stuff doesn't actually get used for play, and if it does get used for play, it's completely worthless. And what they have done is created a way to make sure that the organized play is done correctly and officially and without shenanigans. Like it's very difficult to fake this and keep a promo. Like you can't do that which is what a lot of stores were doing with a lot of the other game stuff. And so like I think they deserve credit for being really creative in the way that they are doing it and figuring out a solution that really works.
Yeah. I mean, I've said before, so before we move on, Sorcery's big thing is its release, right? It does its release and its community better than everyone else because it leans so hard into that. We don't have a new set every month, right? It's all about this massive event. And from day one, I've applauded that. I wish that they could continue that excitement, that hype in that vertical, right? Rather than moving out. Every other indie TCG misses out on that because it's like, hey, you can go to the release, but if you buy here, you're far more incentivized. And Sorcery does that very well. Yeah.
I'll go one step further too, though, and say like the Dust Store also makes it better because like if you have an active player store, they get their rewards and they're like, what's their incentive of playing again at most of the other games, right? Like they get their promo cards and now they're just waiting for the next promo card for weeks. And Dust Codes, they can save up their promo cards, right? Their promo points. They can save up for that alpha box that they drop, every now and then, or they can save up for, this or that. And they don't have
They can save up for booster snacks if they put them on the store eventually.
Yeah. So like, I think that's another really creative way that they are working for that.
Okay. So, Argument number 2.
With your imaginary friend.
Who is a he?
How dare you? And so they, what was that? The Jennifer Lopez with the South Park episode. That's so good.
South Park is so good. Why is South Park so good?
South Park is so good 20 years later.
Yeah.
Anything that either of those guys is involved in making or being in, I'm in. I watch it. I don't even care.
Have you guys watched the behind the scenes of them creating the episode?
Yes. 7 Days to Air.
7 Days to Air.
God. That documentary is fantastically done because it's about South Park. It doesn't get the credit it deserves. Yeah. So good. Yeah, so good.
All right. Argument number 2.
Sorry, I'm thinking about the South Park video game where you're walking.
Dude, so good.
When you're walking, you're in the wall. You're like I think you're Lemming. You're the rat.
Lemmy Wings.
Yeah. Parents are having sex. I vividly remember that part.
The Easter eggs in those games.
Being like, oh my gosh, they went so freaking far. Like they went
South Park TCG. I'd play that.
Oh, I would.
Gosh,
I would be so.
I would be Louis levels of degenerate if there was a South Park TCG.
Star Wars 2.0 for Josh.
It would be. Oh,
it's like Star Wars 2.0 for Joshua.
I love Star Wars. I believe in Star. I drop it. I drop it right now for a South Park TCG.
You're cryptic. So
it's
the best box opening experience, and I haven't even cracked one. So I just want it. I just want to fist those South Park packs.
It would never work. It would never work.
Argument number 2.
Yep.
Sure.
Of this imaginary argument. Okay. Point number 2.
That he had an email with himself is what you're supposed to say.
This is like the sorcery buyers buying and selling to each other.
Did we break him? Hold on, I think we broke him.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
When you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm sorry.
Tell me when you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. Argument number 2. Sorcery. There is an actual gap in the TCG market, and that is actual collectibility. Other games have tried collectibility, but that damn reprint button is so freaking tempting because it's also code for the free money machine.
Mm-hmm.
And so like they think I'm being too harsh on Sorcery for not reprinting enough. Now, Joshua, I agree with you that they should reprint boxes for the LGS. But they said, whereas I would prefer them to err on the side of overprinting, they think they are doing the correct thing by erring on the side of underprinting because there's a big gap in the TCG market for actual collectibility. We have seen other games say, I'm super collectible, then like they blow themselves up. And then you have like these sad people still trying to convince themselves that game's collectible 5 years in going, no, really, it's coming back any day now. You guys just keep holding. Hodl. And it never comes back.
If you understood the Japanese market, you wouldn't be saying that.
It's true. The 17th biggest game in the 20th biggest market to the moon, baby. And so like they think that they think I'm over. They think that I'm wrong, and that a game that is focused on true collectibility is good for the market, and there's a place in the market. Joshua, agree or disagree?
It's you had me on the first point. You got too hyperbolic.
Welcome to MetaZoo be with you. If hyperbole is not your love language, go watch a different podcast and pay full price for your snacks.
It's worth the half price. Just work at extremes. It's worth it.
I am the Sith Lord or the Jedi, depending on what side you fall in on. Continue, Josh.
The message in a world where we have Pokemon and Magic, and like there's a gap in collectibility. Like, come on, no. You
don't think so. So do you think there's
hold on. There's a gap.
I think you have to qualify this. There is I think that the statement is relatively true that there's a gap in collectability in modern trading card games. I don't think that you can make the blanket statement that there's a lack of collectability in the card industry, because old vintage Magic is still highly collectible and old vintage Pokemon is still highly collectible. You could maybe, I know you two are on the side that like modern Pokemon collectability is gone. I am not on that channel, but like, I agree that in the industry, a modern collectible game is not really there, like truly collectible modern.
So wait, so modern Pokemon is not truly collectible.
I don't really buy into the fact that modern, like, I think it's ridiculous that a modern Pokemon card is worth more than like a first edition PSA 9, holo. Like I think that's ridiculous. Like Moonground, I think it's crazy. I understand why it's happening.
Yeah, because of scammers, and so like because of buyouts, and so like. But Josh, like I would have a different argument for you.
Sure,
yeah, I think Louis' argument is fine. I don't fully disagree. Weirdly,
right now, just so you know where I stand right now.
Yeah,
I don't believe there's a gap to be filled in collectability. I think Sorcery fills a different gap. But go ahead.
Okay,
which is fine. What gap does Sorcery fill?
Sorcery fills the casually involved in trading card games. Magic has tried to be, you have to like, there's something new all the time. Sorcery, you've said it yourself. All these people will buy, they'll engage for 3 months. Maybe they'll come back once a month to their game store for an event. And then the next release, they'll get hyped up and go back in.
That has not been my experience with a single Sorcery person.
That was
the situation. My argument was a little bit different, Josh. My argument was going to be that I think you need to break up the TCG market. I think Magic and Pokemon don't count for this discussion. They're their own animal. Like they don't like whether they're collectible or not is widely irrelevant, because like you either want to be in indies or a big game.
Sure. Okay.
And so if you're looking at
I don't buy that either, but
relax, boo-boo. If you're talking about indies, there is this gap of true collectibility.
Yeah.
I could. And so that was the argument.
And I thought that was a compelling argument.
That passes my smell test.
Me too. That passed my smell test.
Because it leans so much more into the idea of being a specialized piece with the hand-painted art, with the limited nature of foils, and going back to the lack of alternative treatments. So if you remove the big card games and you're only left with the little guys, you could convince me that Sorcery fills that need for a collectible in that space. 100%.
I think almost all the other games go to things like serialized cards, right? Like because their lack of collectability exists, because they try to force it with things like serialized cards. I think what Sorcery does better than any other game is to bring it back to the basics of collectibility.
That was his argument.
Their foils are really rare. You don't get a foil in every pack. It's not shiny. It's not like they put the box opening experience in a different way to make it really hit hard when you get something foily and strong and like whatever. And like I think that's huge. I think that's awesome. And I think that is what the people who love Sorcery, that is the market they were missing. It is a way that has this kind of true nature of collecting, because it's it's truly rare. I mean, like an alpha set, there's 200 and whatever 50 of each alpha unique foil. That's incredibly rare.
I mean, did you start that sentence by include, because we were talking about a world where we took the big two, not big three, but the big two, and we set them aside, right?
Yeah.
Louis, your statement, but hold on. Louis, did you bring the big two back in there? Because it sounded like
a lot of One Piece is doing serialized cards. Almost every game that we talk about has ever talked about is doing serialized cards. Lorcana hasn't done it yet, but
we won't, baby. We are kicking it old school.
I think they probably will.
I don't think so.
MetaZoo went hard into the serialized cards.
You get it.
Like we've seen this in almost every other game that we've talked about. They go into serialized cards because
there was like 85 different serialized variants in Cryptic.
Yeah.
There was like 15 of the same card with different serial numbers.
Because they're desperate to bake that kind of thing in. Because what it does,
which I don't think did.
What that does is you don't have to have actual real demand to then be able to say that 1 of 10 card is rare. And what Sorcery is doing is saying, hey, here's the print run. We're going to print it, and the demand is going to be what it is, and it's going to gravitate what is rare and what is what the value of something is. Whereas you can just pump a 1 of 10 card. Any bozo can spend money and pump a 1 of 10 card when you only are going to see 4 of those cards ever in existence because half the people keep sealed boxes. So 5, but
you're doing great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's true. So I think both of those statements you made about Sorcery are pretty true. I disagree.
I thought they were compelling arguments.
I disagree that like Sorcery is like. I think that a lot of people are going to collect Sorcery and Magic and Pokemon. Like I think there's going to be a lot of that kind of thing. Like,
nothing I said disagrees with that. Just we're clear.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure I agree with you. But nothing I said disagrees with that. I don't agree with you.
I don't know. The level at which we discount Magic as a collectible and even modern Magic.
No.
Is
I'm only discounting it because if you throw it on the chart, it's way off the charts.
Right. But Louis just said, we're only looking at people don't collect this. They're only looking at serialized cards. They have to force collectability. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
Magic.
Yeah, I was not talking about Magic. I mean, I think there's a side of that for Magic, but like
so now you are talking about Magic.
There's a side of that for Magic, but I think maybe with
the beefiest podcast we've had in a while. I like this.
Maybe for Magic, I think
this is a genuinely good discussion, which is weird for us.
I think maybe for Magic is that like it's so big. There's so many boxes printed. How else do you bake collectibility into something?
There's also so many different kinds of collectors for Magic. Like that's the biggest thing.
How do you tell the world that there's only 500 of this print of card without putting a serialized number on it? Well, I've been on the podcast. I've said I wish that all serialized cards have different artwork. I'm so a huge proponent of that. But with Sorcery, the world of Sorcery is small enough that you can be like, hey, listen, here's the math on the Kickstarter run. There's only 250 of this card. So then like what it's highly collectible because you know what the number is. You can't do that with Magic because you don't know the print runs, you don't know the pull rates, you don't know any of the stuff, and there's so many variants. So like
but we did, right? We did in Lord of the Rings. We did with the Soul Rings. The non-serialized Soul Rings, there was a declared number of print of those cards.
Yeah.
And those cards are holding ridiculous value for a dollar card.
So every set you're going to come out and be like, hey, this one card has 50 prints or 500 prints.
No, but to the point earlier, there's also many different ways that people collect Magic the Gathering. The people that are looking for collecting a 1 of a certain number are satisfied in that way. There are set collectors, there are character collectors, there are world collectors.
I don't count Magic because it's it is so much bigger. Like the collectible side of Magic is so much bigger. Listen, I believe Goatkana is GOAT. It is so much bigger than Goatkana collectability. Like it is like it's off the charts.
Deeper. It's like so much deeper too. Like
I mean, like of course people want to collect the serialized cards and sets and this artist and this type and this color and this everything.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing we see in Pokemon, where there are people who want to collect all the Charizards, or their favorite Pokemon is.
If you want to collect all the Charizards, buddy, have I got the block for you.
I just wanted to, because it did seem like a little bit
like the same Charizard with different toes 15 times.
It felt like we were claiming like it was filling that need. And I want to say,
no,
in the argument where we remove the big two, I'm cool with it. I get that.
The only thing I will say is I think there is a subset of people. Again, I don't think that this is the main focus of Sorcery, and maybe oftentimes people think that this is the main focus of Sorcery. I think there is a subset of Sorcery collectors who are just fed up with Magic. They don't enjoy opening Magic product because of the 4,000 variants, and they are an older group of people who like collecting, and that is why Sorcery has filled that gap for them.
That's the gap I was talking about. Yeah. I don't think it was filling the other gap we were talking about. I do think that there is a demand for that. I don't think it's a massive demand, but there clearly is a demand for that, and I think it's filling that demand. Minority. No, but you can build a successful community business and TCG out of that group, and they're doing a good job of that.
Well, see, like I don't agree that Sorcery is building their community out of that group. I think
that is the bedrock of what started that group. That is the foundation of that group, and is growing beyond that. Has grown beyond that.
I don't think Sorcery is the bedrock of that. I think you often downplay the
welcome to the 90s.
The amount of people who legitimately love playing Sorcery. Like
I don't.
Nate, he's a guy in my shop. Kid does not collect things. That's not his thing. Like
I didn't say Nate doesn't exist. I don't downplay that, and I 100% respect that. But when Sorcery hit the scene, when it was advertised to the most people it was ever advertised to, a very specific type of consumer. And that was the one that I outlined. That was the foundation of the money that came in that built the Sorcery community. It has grown and will continue to grow, but that's where it got its start. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing. I will go
a step further and say that, like, I think that is how indies need to start.
You have to have something.
I think if an indie comes out and says, like, I'm not trying to be collectible,
that's not what I'm saying either.
No, he wasn't saying you were. He wasn't saying you were.
I think, like, what I think my friend did a good job of arguing to me, it was like, I'm paying too much attention to what I consider to be bad actors in Sorcery.
That's right.
And of what Sorcery has no control over.
But right? The reason that is that you and I and Josh have gotten burned by
these bad actors.
The same people, in a lot of ways, the same people, so many times, and they still. That's what frustrates us about. That's what's always. That's what one of the reasons I almost never talked about another indie TCG, and here I am back talking about Sorcery. But I almost left the scene because of the way that the communities don't know how to be adults.
Yeah, and I think
well, if you could read,
what I don't think. Like, listen, I still think Sorcery cards are overpriced. I'm not arguing they're not.
I don't think anybody really knows what the price of a Sorcery card is still.
But that's not Sorcery's problem. Like, that's not Sorcery, the game, or the team's problem.
Doesn't matter.
They've done a great job at not giving
They have no obligation to correct the market or to say, like, hey, maybe a card that was printed 5 minutes ago shouldn't be worth as much as an alpha card from Magic the Gathering. Like, they have no obligation to say that. Yeah. And they shouldn't say that, and they haven't said that. And, like, my friend was like, basically, like, you are being way too hard on a game based on the actions of, like, really, like, 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
When in fact, like, they're doing a lot right that you seem to be poo-pooing, Louis' word of last week, to full circle.
Insane. You should have done insane.
Don't diss me. And they're going to, and, like, he's like, the company's doing a lot right. They're building honest collectibility into the games, and they're doing something for OGSs, and those are two massive wins.
And they're creating a really cool community too. I mean, like, look at their thing they're doing right now, where they're doing the create a card, and they're they are going the mile on advertising their game and promoting their game and making content about their game. Like, they're doing great. So.
All right. So here is my pledge to the fine viewers of May the Zoo be with you. 2 pledges. Go along with the 2 things I've learned. Number 1, I will only eat booster snacks as snack food. No other delicious snack food will hit these lips. This and Oreos and ice cream.
But not on the podcast.
I didn't promise that. Second thing, I will try to pay less attention to what I consider the bad actors of Sorcery to focus on the other parts of Sorcery. I think that was a fair critique of somebody, and I will try to honor that.
Cool. So, beta 2.0. Dude, listen, we have to talk about it a little bit.
No, we don't. We have to talk about the fact that I should have never mentioned the card I'm collecting on this stupid podcast because people now think people think it's worth a lot of money, and that's not what I'm paying for. No. No.
How much are
that's
you
why
paying for
it? I'm not.
Listen,
I'm not willing to say.
Low-key, Giant Shark's actually a pretty good card. It's super annoying when it gets on the battlefield.
I'm just saying it is.
Wow.
I've never pumped anything before, and I feel that I've ruined it.
Welcome to Louis' life. Welcome to Louis' life. He pumps it, it gets ruined, he moves on. What's your next card going to be, Josh?
I got to find another cheap elite.
Go beta foil.
Don't do it.
So beta 2.0.
Do I look broke to you?
So these Singapore boxes get in, and then everybody starts opening them, and the print quality is so much better. Like I don't have any
self-diss.
Wait.
What?
You're doing great. Keep going, baby.
I heard a wait. The print quality is like, God, you're annoying.
I got him again.
It is on par with the alpha quality, and one of the things.
Beta print quality is bad, and you just tried to convince me to buy beta cards?
It wasn't bad. It was the beta print run was like not quite as saturated.
It wasn't bad. It was different, Josh. I got
the colors were different. They were slightly different.
Just the coloring. Like the cards are exactly the same. Like the feel of the cards, the bending of the cards.
Well, the fold test.
This is not. Yeah, the fold test works. This was not. Good. This was not cryptic, where like they made the cards 13 pounds and like the cards ate too many booster snacks and they didn't fit in the
Impossible.
Hey, that's my life right now.
This is not that.
That's not cool.
This was like the saturation was just off, right? Like that was the point. So Singapore gets their boxes and everyone starts ripping boxes and the print quality is so much better. So now there are people who are actively like, I want to make a beta 2.0 set.
You want the Belgian print run?
Yeah. Like they want a set that's
all
just beta 2.0.
TCGs are the same.
Now, let me be very clear. I think this is going to be a thing in the community. Like I've been doing a lot of box breaks. And I think that there's going to be shout out to all of you who come and hang out on Sorcery Sundays at around 8:00 on Sunday nights. Join the Discord server at KitchenTableTCG.com and hop in there. But I legitimately think people are going to be like, Louis, we don't want you to open the first print of beta. We want you to get Singapore boxes.
God.
Like I think that's going to be
a flat circle.
I think you're underestimating the number of people that just want to play the game and just want you to open them cards to play.
So like this is what I like. My store doesn't care. Like the people in my store don't care.
So you're giving your store the crappy ones.
I mean,
you too can shop at Gamer Grove if you're interested, boys.
Not the crap. Actually, right now we have
and girls
2.0 there, but it's gonna be interesting. But
wait, you were part of the problem that took Sorcery out of this needy region?
Oh, I bought a lot of boxes. It's the cheapest way to get boxes. What do you want from me? The alternative is to pay $300 on TCG Player. Like
that's what they're going for.
That's what they were going for. They're down to like $260.
I don't think that's that much.
So I think I want to be clear to people. I think this is going to be a thing for the short term, but then I think we will see. I mean, they've already said they're going to have more boxes coming out to LGSs. I think that next wave of boxes.
All though.
Yeah, but I think that next
war.
Sure, but I think that next wave of boxes is also going to be this better print run. So I don't know.
God, I hate these sometimes.
I just don't want people getting burned and like
after I just got done being like I'm gonna be more positive.
Spending extra money on the right saturated foils, and then like they print a bunch and then people are gonna get burned. So I want to publicly say that I think that that's gonna be a thing. Be careful, people. So listen, dude, this is what happens. Like
this is not a good thing. Why is this happening?
Yeah, because it's a TCG.
People get bored.
Yeah, they do look better. For the record, they look so much better. Like you can tell. You can tell.
George, I tried so hard.
I know. I heard. I saw. Louis is bad for us. He's bad for us and every indie TCG.
I tried so hard.
It's complicated.
He's
bad for us and every
I
indie
spent
TCG
so much money on sharks. George, so much money.
Speaking of things I'm bad at,
I only want sharks that are printed on the first sheet of the second wave of boxes.
I collect alpha sharks and beta 2.0 sharks. And then crappy first print run of beta.
Speaking of things that I'm bad at, let's talk about Pokemon on the podcast.
Great, you get a refill. I've been waiting the entire podcast for this. Yes, I can get my refill while you do this.
Buddy, right. We're rolling from emotional Louis and Sorcery to Pokemon Louis.
I am not emotional at all about Sorcery. What am I emotional about for Sorcery? I'm chill. I ruined my little thing though. I'm a little bummed. I was having a
Wait, what little thing did you ruin?
It was the sticker sheet. This label. I was rolling it back and I accidentally outrolled it. So now I have to put it back together. All right. So Pokemon and GameStop announced a partnership. This is actually pretty big. It's been a weird cycle of news. Pokemon to GameStop and then the new PSA slab holders, all kind of a similar thing. But they will now be buying PSA 8, 9, and 10 Pokemon cards at GameStop. It's kind of crazy. I think that this is going to be awful. I want to be out there saying that this is going to be absolutely terrible and that they're going to get a ton of fakes sold to them. And like they're not going to. I'm also going to go on a limb here. I'm going to lay out a scenario. Yeah.
I bet GameStop is not paying top dollar for their slabs, for their Poke slabs. I'm assuming there's probably going to be a pretty hefty discount for selling it at GameStop.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's going to be...
And I'm assuming most people who take the time to get their Pokemon slabbed probably are aware of the outlets to get better value for their Poke slabs.
So everyone that I've been following has had this idea, this conversation.
Wait, following where? Because you're off Twitter.
Nobody.
Following where, buddy?
YouTube. That
I don't believe you.
That nobody's buying physical media anymore. So like nobody's buying games at GameStop anymore, and so that this is their like.
Are they buying digital?
Yeah, most.
Yes.
Because
that is not a collectible.
Yeah. Well, hold on, Louis. You opened up an entire section in your collectible store for vintage video games.
Right. Vintage video games are collectible now that they're old and collectible.
They're vintage sooner or later.
You know what's not collectible? Anything with the word collectible. Shout out to Magic Collector Boxes. Okay, so GameStop's buying these slabs. The idea being that they're also going to be opening up their store for events. They're going to be doing Pokemon events in store.
What?
That's been a lot of the rumor and speculation right now. That this is like the first stop.
Have you been to a GameStop? That sounds terrible.
It's going to be interesting. Like, if they start doing special Pokemon events and rewards at GameStops and like
now I know why deep effing value is back, because GameStop is all the way back, baby. We're just making decisions off the cuff. I get it.
You see the stock,
buddy. Like I get it.
% on one meme.
Yeah.
God,
buddy,
I love him.
I get it. This is why he's back. We're just making decisions.
You might be able to sell your Charizard here.
Never. They won't take CGC. And I will say this, though. The amount of fake slabs that are about to be dumped on TCG player.
Welcome back to the podcast.
I got my coffee.
Not our problem.
You're going to get dumped on TCG player? Why TCG player?
Oh, I meant on GameStop.
Yeah.
GamerStop. Got it.
Gamerstop.gg. I think it's a little wild. I think that this is going to be very short-lived and not actually be that big of a thing.
I don't think God forbid we're all, still healthy enough to be here doing the podcast next year. I don't foresee us talking about GameStop Pokemon events. I don't think that's going to happen.
They say it's a collaboration. The Verge Network says it's a collaboration with PSA and isn't necessarily limited to Pokemon, which is super interesting. So maybe they'll be training. What are you guys doing right now?
I told you we're not going to listen to the Pokemon section.
My work was going off, so I have to, actually real responsibility. Sorry.
So it'll be really interesting if they buy MetaZoo slabs.
Pokemon. Listen, GameStop. Pokemon's the one TCG that fits at
It's
GameStop.
Like, how are they going to value things?
They're gonna have a book. GameStop always has a book, right? A little booklet on the counter. The values be out of date. You'll try to scam them right at the right time. Like that's how it works. That's the last time I shopped meaningfully at a GameStop.
It'll be
I go to GameStop a lot, actually.
It'll be super interesting.
Really?
All right, George. Do you want to talk?
Are you buying physical copies of games?
No, so we buy the video game systems there where they're on sale for the arcades.
That makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right, George, since you want to talk about this, let's talk about the new PSA holders. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Was that the whole Pokemon at GameStop conversation that you hyped up this much? That was it?
That's it. If you guys don't want to talk about it, we won't talk about it. It's fine.
I didn't want to not talk about us.
So PSA has new slabs.
Is it only for sports, though?
So I don't know. They only showed sports slabs, and they say for standard trading cards. I don't know. I don't know if Pokemon and I don't know if that does that qualify for standard trading cards.
I think it can, but I would think it would. But I don't know.
I hope so. I will agree. So it's 20% heavier. It's UV protected. Ooh. It's more waterproof. I don't.
Do people have that problem? Like I guess
it was only water resistant beforehand, then, right? Because
I think they're good. Like better is better.
Or waterproof.
Like better is better.
Listen,
but do people really put their cards out in sunny puddles in the middle of the day to see what happens? So, it's protected from the UV and the water.
I mean, okay. So
George with his Charizard every day drops it off in a puddle in front of him.
Gotta make sure it's UV protected.
As a store owner, I think having UV protection is good because if we have a window, if there's light that hits on where our Pokemon display is, that might
they're in your display case 24/7.
I'm not stupid enough to actually set that up, but as a store owner, I know other store owners that George might be stupid enough to let that happen.
I mean Windows,
and you don't do singles.
Singles
basically not a store.
Store listen, better is better, right? Better UV protection is better than less UV protection. Better water resistance is better than less water resistance.
It's like condoms. You always use more, right?
If you're not triple bagging, are you bagging at all?
But that was a joke, kids. You're not supposed to do that.
What?
I think I'm a huge fan of more waterproof as somebody who's had flooding in my house. A huge fan of that. Huge.
How many of your slabs are sitting on the floor? Office.
All my cryptic right now, all my cryptic slabs are literally on the floor in my back room. As somebody who has been through a house flood, I'm a fan of that.
So yeah, it makes sense. You know what I think the coolest thing that you mentioned is the heavier.
Yeah.
Right. Just as someone who isn't as involved, doesn't own a store, the few graded things I owned, I've bought just because I'm a fan. I like them. The complaint I've always had is it does feel like when you get it, you kind of put this thing on a pedestal so much, and it feels it's really light, it's really tiny. The heavier would be cooler. I'm into that,
especially compared to your BGS slab right there. They're definitely lighter.
Yeah, for sure. I have, and it feels like a very serious slab.
I will give PSA credit. There's no need for them to improve. They're already winning, and they're encouraging to improve because I think it's the right thing to do.
I was surprised they didn't change their label. I think their label's pretty ugly. I get it though. You want
classic.
You want to keep
it classic. I think it's classic.
Okay. This is idiot. You guys are good graders. I'm a bad grader. I don't know anything about this. Hot take. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I want to grade almost all the valuable Magic I have with PSA because in my mind, there's old people crossover with sports and old people crossover with Magic. And sports people will be comfortable with PGA, pure PSA.
PGA.
PSA, buddy.
It's in the game.
So Beckett is losing a lot of push in the collectible world right now, which is really interesting. And I have a lot of Beckett, especially in Sorcery.
You killed another thing. I'm proud of you.
PSA, I think
is safe. Death strikes again.
And just
where was this thing at?
I
don't know where this thing was.
Killing one TCG. we should make a card game about
All the card games we've killed.
yeah. One of the things I'm kind of disappointed in is that they didn't seem to make it more clear. And I think like CGC's slabs are so clear. And I wish I would have made it like that. But other than that,
Well, I wonder if the UV protection is, extra UV protection is going to affect the visibility of the card. Because that would suck. Like, I get it grading because I want to look at it, right?
Right. Not put it in the sun.
I get it graded because I want to stuff it in realistically, this is sad. I get it graded because I want to stuff it somewhere and not look at it for the next 10 years. That's sad. What a sad existence I live.
Last week, didn't we talk about that grading's a scam? It's a couple weeks.
Yeah, your take forever.
Yeah. No, it wasn't his take until that video. I think that video might have been.
Which video?
You know the one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where you became a grading company. and the product was the other grading companies.
Oh yeah. Grading.
That might have opened your eyes to
how scammy it was.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. An Enchanted week. All the Enchanteds have been announced and released.
Let's go week, baby. We're here for it.
This is the big release week for Lorcana. For only LGSs, right? So when does it? When
it comes to us on Friday. Welcome to Friday. It's Friday right now.
Today is the release.
So go to your LGS, go buy all their boxes, and tell them MetaZoo with us you sent you, and ask them if they carry booster snacks.
And if they do, you'll get a 50% off discount on both the booster snacks and the card that you're buying.
Tell them Louis said that.
They're not going to carry booster snacks. I'm going to start carrying booster snacks, by the way, in my store.
You should.
I would.
You can rip the cards and sell the singles.
All right.
Okay, so all the Enchanted released. Boxes are holding well, 120.
More than that.
Are they? Yeah, I thought they were up.
They're almost 140.
They were another 125, 130.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That feels
about right to me.
It didn't feel. Oh, we should say,
funny.
We should say that today is the TCG player sale, so they may go up today. The big money back.
I'm so excited for that. Use
my affiliate link in the description of this video, everybody.
No, you're only allowed to use the affiliate link if you've already bought booster snacks. Continually.
What's going to be the hit card? Anna or Ariel?
Ariel.
I was thinking about this. I think it might be Anna.
Isn't it Anna?
I think it's
Frozen
Anna.
Is so good.
I
rewatched it the other day. So good.
We watch my daughter says Frozen, Elsa Anna jammies, Daddy every time she sees the snow monster because that's Daddy. She is obsessed. Literally obsessed. Well, she says Daddy at Kristoff too, but I'm not riding no reindeer.
I'm not a big fan.
You look like
Frozen
Kristoff.
is amazing.
No, I'm just thinking of Frozen.
Frozen is
I think it's kind of overrated.
What do you think of Moana?
No. So I don't like singing. I don't like movies that are
There's exactly no joy in that heart.
So you don't like Disney.
No, like Toy Story is great. They never sing. They don't break out into random songs.
You literally have realistic. A friend in me.
That's not sang by the characters. Have you ever seen Toy Story?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. They don't sing You've Got a Friend in Me. It's just the background noise of the movie.
One jump ahead of the bread line.
I was team Ariel when Ariel was announced, but now that Anna's announced, I think people are going to want the matching pair. They're going to want Anna and Elsa, and that's
a good take.
Going to drive a ton of value.
I said Anna.
Louis,
I love Anna. Anna's all in.
That's a really great take of yours. Josh, what's your take?
No, you didn't say why.
I didn't think about the matching pair. That's true. That's true.
I still got Ariel. They have not put him up on TCG Player yet.
Yeah, they do the same crap with Pokemon.
Do you think there's something to Ariel might have a chance though because the people playing Lorcana are into the older Disney stuff?
Absolutely.
Or do you think? Well, but look at Elsa.
Yeah, I mean Elsa was.
Yeah. I thought the same thing, but Elsa kind of.
I think the Anna artwork is kind of mid too. Like it's just not.
I don't think that's the issue.
I don't like the Ariel artwork.
When you think of Frozen, you think of Elsa.
That's fair. Yeah, Anna's that's the lesser.
Tag along. It's like the Louis of the podcast. He's there, but like nobody really knows why.
I don't even know who Sisu is.
I will say they throw out some random characters. I'm like,
Yeah.
So I'm either too old or too young. I don't know which.
But also,
the Ursula is the promo. I think the promo Ursula one is so freaking much better than the Stitch.
the Ursula looks.
You know what? I'm alone in this. I'm alone in this valley, and I'll die in this valley. That's fine with me. I love that stick. I love the colors.
I might be cracking like 75 boxes on Friday.
Must be nice.
Why?
You're supposed to crack them together until you uninvited me to your
You
house.
decided to go somewhere else.
Home.
I did not.
Uninvited me to your home.
I did not. Love the record show. The Cinderella is also pretty good. It's kind of crazy that they're already printing another Enchanted of a character.
Can I?
Like, that's why.
Can I get a hot take?
Yeah.
Minnie Mouse, Dark Horse here. Dark Horse
Minnie
candidate.
Mouse is a good take. I like Minnie Mouse.
Dark Horse candidate here.
I don't think so.
This is where Donald could actually be helpful because he would know which cards are playable.
I don't care about that at all.
But
I don't think that matters. Like Elsa's not that much played.
I don't care.
Yeah,
it's not super popular.
The-
This is the weird. Don't they have songs as enchanteds here as well?
Yeah.
It was like the lands last time. It's like the places last time.
The Minnie Mouse
I don't like
artwork looks not very good on this image, but I could see that card pop in person when you actually knew the foil around.
Pop,
Yeah.
pop.
I gotta tell you, I don't like when they do enchanteds of anything but characters.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I don't want songs. I don't want locations.
The location still looks so weird with the 4, like the number being.
Yeah. Also,
That's not my
design
issue.
team.
I just
What do
think
we
it's like it's you want an enchanted to always feel good to open.
That's you only do Disney characters. We opened the Genie Enchanted on the channel, and it's not like one of the more valuable ones. Man, it looks so good. It's so cool.
Where can they buy those box openings, Josh?
Oh, at Hometown TCG on YouTube.
Homertown.
By the way, Ursula's return. Box openings for sale, baby. Channel members, let's go.
Is there a discount if you're a member?
Oh yeah, I give
That's the only way to get it, right?
I give ridiculous discounts to members. It's not smart, but
It seems like it's almost like a too good of a deal to pass up to become a member.
Listen, that's what I like to think.
God, I'm such a great friend to both of you idiots.
Wow. All
Bingo.
the hometowner TCGs and no gamergrove.gg this week from either of you.
I only said GamerGrove.gg, and you uninvited me to your house.
I did not do that. That did not happen.
Did he invite you too?
Yes.
I was at his door, knocking on his door, and he's like, "Not a good week."
That did
Drove
not-
all the way to West Virginia.
Neither of
Met
us happened.
Bigfoot.
Neither of you have my address or ever will.
I definitely have your address.
I absolutely have your address.
George-
I have sent you things.
George sends me things to worst content creator. At my
Accurate.
address. No name. Just says worst
name.
content creator.
Just worst content creator. That is home address.
And it's just full of this time not CN2 packs.
Oh,
Christmas boxes. MetaZoo Christmas boxes.
I have another case.
30
I
of
have
them.
another case.
30
Don't
of them.
worry, buddy. If you're running low, more's on the way.
The package probably weighed twice as much as it would have.
All the people who Louis, all your MetaZoo that you sent me is finally gone. All the people that bought Star Wars for me got bonus MetaZoo packs in their order.
Louis, coming soon, you'll get Cryptic.
Let's talk. I can't wait for Cryptic. I will thoroughly enjoy receiving Cryptic. MetaZoo, I just throw it in a box and it's in my closet. But
That's the problem. Is like, what do you do with it?
yeah, like I don't even want to throw it away.
You use it to
It's not
ship.
worth
You
it.
use it to ship things to people.
I have a policy. You guys know this. I had a policy starting 3 weeks ago. If it's a dead TCG with nothing of value, in the garbage. I'm done.
All right. Speaking of dead TCG,
Wow.
let's
Yep.
talk. Let's
Send
talk
it to
about
me. I got
MetaZoo.
space in the office. I'll hang up your
No problem.
failures.
You tell me what you want.
I'll hang up your
All right.
failures, buddy.
I found
So-
like 3 cases of a TCG that I don't talk about, and like in the garage today.
In the
like-
garbage.
I looked them up. Boxes were like $68, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I'm not holding $200 of boxes that take up a ton of room. I'm not
George,
doing it.
imagine if the game's
Okay.
around in 10 years, buddy.
So we had
It's been
some.
around for 5 years.
there.
It's gone one direction.
We
We're
had
halfway
some,
there.
we had some leaked
Halfway there.
leaked documents in the MetaZoo world.
Oh my God, wait. We're halfway to imagine if the game's around in 10 years.
So far.
Oh my God.
We had some leaked documents, and then we
So-
had
all right.
some conversations with Mike M Waddell official in the Discord. There's some MetaZoo tea to chat about.
I want you to know that this was my break glass in case of emergency beer, and I feel like we're going to need it here.
Unfortunately, that was from last week, so good job. And so the changes that have happened since then, though.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it last week.
So basically,
we have to talk about it.
Mike has said that he's going to be taking the company bankrupt. He said there's always that he's leaving the door open for a white knight. I think he's legally required to say that. I think the odds of somebody coming in and buying MetaZoo is pretty low, given the debt rumors that have been circulating. I think he's even said some pretty big numbers. I think he said millions somewhere in there. I'm not sure who would pay millions for this.
Where was the Shaw email floating around?
So that was the notice of auction that was sent to you guys. I texted that to you guys a while ago.
Yes. No, but before that was the conditions on the sale of MetaZoo.
I don't know if that came from Shaw or not. Is that what it says on the thing?
The Discord. Yeah, go to the Discord, MZ Docs. The top one.
I'm working on it, but you just relax. All right. So this is from Shaw to some name crossed out and Mike. And it goes, this is Michael's list of conditions regarding the sale of MetaZoo. Are these terms acceptable to Aoki? I'm guessing Steve Aoki. If not, what a coincidence. Michael's conditions are $100,000 paid personally to each Michael and blanked out name. All MetaZoo assets liability sold to the new company. Michael and Blink are reaching until the 5% equity ownership in the new company. Required agreements, basically non-disparagement, release of liability, et cetera, et cetera. Public statement that Blank and Michael are no longer involved is MetaZoo and buyer to shut down old MetaZoo LLC. So basically it's a sale of assets and liabilities.
But now this did not go through, right?
This did not go through. And that's not surprising. I would suspect that, like, I don't know this for sure, but God, it feels like that Blank name's probably Steve Aoki. Like, if not, it's really weird to read it. Maybe it's Andy. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I don't know who it is. But like, it's. Yeah, I think the opportunity for a sale is quickly closing. I think it's likely closed, but like if it hasn't closed, it is rapidly closing. After that, since those documents came out, Golden, which I believe Shaw is the CEO of, has said they are putting the MetaZoo pallets that they have in storage up for auction that they have a lien on. I suspect. This is like that we're airing this before Friday, so I suspect this will happen by Friday. I suspect this is actually not about auctioning off the assets and about forcing MetaZoo into a bankruptcy. Because the way to stop that, one of the ways to stop that auction is to have a bankruptcy. Bankruptcy basically freezes everything while the trustee figures out what the hell you have
but
and who the hell you owe money to.
Pay to go to bankruptcy, and that's what Mike is saying is the problem.
Mike has raised $20,000 from an auction on whatnot or something to fund a bankruptcy attorney. There's also more than enough assets to fund a bankruptcy attorney. Like they will have no problem finding a bankruptcy attorney to do this. Mm-hmm. Like companies that are worth far less, because remember the bankruptcy people get paid first. They're first in stack. They're before everybody else.
Right.
So, like, there was no question they have enough assets to fund a bankruptcy lawyer.
Stack. You just used a Magic the Gathering reference without even thinking about it. That's amazing. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, stack is also what you call a list of creditors in
because they probably were Magic nerds who got that from Magic the Gathering.
This is why TCGs are bigger than you realize, George.
Yeah.
God, Cynthia Williams gets it. And so, like, they'll have no problem funding a bankruptcy. Like that's not a thing. Like there's enough assets. My gut is like this week's gonna be crazy and next week's gonna be crazier. All the dirty laundry is about to get aired. Like that is what bankruptcy usually devolves into. I suspect this one will be no different.
Help me understand why the MetaZoo market is taking this as, oh man, I should buy MetaZoo right now. Like, there seems to be this hope now because of this info, because of Mike floating around and coming back.
Do you want me to give you the answer I think they would give you or my reason?
I want to know, wait, you think that people should be buying MetaZoo right now?
All in. No, they could definitely not be buying medicine.
God, you said that.
Okay.
I was about to have that
Yeah.
intervention live on the podcast.
I was about to not want to be on this screen.
Like, I would not be buying MetaZoo right now. If you guys want to buy Kickstarter boxes, though, you should get them DMs.
I got $5.
Or Christmas boxes. And so
or just buy anything from him. He'll probably send you Kickstarter packs.
And so
next. That's next.
You're getting cryptic Kickstarter. I'd be careful there, boo-boo. So like I think there's two ways that this ends better for MetaZoo than where they are today. Now, first of all, I'd like to say like where they are today is dead, right? It makes like there's nowhere to go but up, right?
No, that's not true.
Explain that to me. What's worse than this?
I mean, CN2 can't get any worse. That's fair. But like Kickstarter boxes are still like $800.
He's talking about MetaZoo, the company,
prices.
not the prices of the products.
Yeah, I think the prices are still high.
So,
but wait,
I want to touch on that. It could get, if it gets messier, it damages. If it gets even worse, which by the way, it's been about as bad as we could imagine so far. But if it gets even worse, it damages the idea of someone buying MetaZoo and doing something with it. It definitely could get worse.
I don't think that's going to happen. But like, there's two ways out of this. The first is that Mike can find a group of creditors or lenders who come in and turn and restart the company.
Crazy people with money.
Yeah. The second way, I think the far more likely way, is it goes to bankruptcy and a new company buys the MetaZoo IP and they restart it.
Or that company just makes Mothman things because Mothman doesn't belong to anybody.
No, but I still think there is some value in the MetaZoo name. Now, how much value is that's up for discussion? But like,
can we go negative?
You guys think the MetaZoo IP is going to not sell at auction?
This man nailed it. Well, no,
you're crazy. The MetaZoo IP is absolutely going to sell at auction, if not to a private buyer. It will not go unsold. It will not be sold for $1. It will be claimed.
Sure. There's a lot of things that sell at auction that don't pan out the way you want them to.
I'm not saying it'll pan out.
As someone who has bought cars at auction,
worthless.
I can tell you. That's
the thing. It's worthless means it won't sell. It'll sell. It's not worthless. Some people buy it.
No, 10 years.
Yeah, I think
imagine if this game
we're halfway there.
10 years.
So is every indie. I mean,
we're halfway there. It made it 5, which is cool. Like it gets like a small pat on the head.
I don't think it made it 5 years, guys.
Like I guess. Like
my channel's 3 years old.
Those are the two ways. No, it's not. Those are the two ways. It started in 2020. Those are the two ways that it started. Those are the two ways that it turns around.
Hold on. I don't think
either is likely.
Okay.
I think a turnaround. I think a turnaround is exceptionally difficult. And I'm not sure why you'd spend your efforts turning this around if you're going to turn around a company. Like there's not enough juice in that squeeze.
November 8th, 2022 is my first video.
That luckily for us,
3.5 years ago.
That's not.
Wait, November 8th, 2022?
2020. 2020.
Did you hear 2022?
3.5 years ago.
You said 2022.
I meant to say 2022.
Okay, I was about to say, whoa. That's awesome.
3.5 years ago. I'm looking at it right now. Don't fact check me. I'm looking at my first video.
But like the Kickstarter before that.
It's not 5 years.
They had to have.
It's not 5 years old.
Either way, it's not 5 years old.
I said 2020. I literally said 2020.
Yeah, I said
anyway.
Yeah, continue.
Those are the two ways it gets better. I don't think either is likely, but like those are the two ways it gets better.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I like to leave myself a lot of outs. I'm very particular with my word choice. I don't think it gets better. I'm going to tell you it's done. Buddy, it's not getting better. It's done.
I don't disagree. I just said that.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're saying those are the two ways it gets better. I tell you, there's 0% chance of it ever getting better.
There's definitely not a 0% chance.
0% chance. Listen, that's your take. That's wonderful. That's your take.
If Topps buys it, we're in a better spot.
Sure. And if
Topps has done sets with them before, we don't.
And
know.
Listen, if Topps buys hometown TCG, we're in a fantastic spot too.
Topps is not buying this,
but
I don't think.
And this is the hard part.
There's no chance. I think is also wild.
Okay, then I'm wild.
I'm wild.
I'm going to go on a limb and say it feels like we have to face the music sooner or later.
I literally just said I think it's over.
I'm not telling you I think it's over. I'm telling you it's over. I'm not telling you that there's a 1% chance it's not over. I'm telling you there's a 0% chance.
Do us a favor. Can they make a fat lady singing card just so that we know it's over? A promo card.
And a keyboard.
Fat lady sings.
Here's the kicker.
Card.
Here's the kicker. You pre-order it, but you never get it. It's the most MetaZoo ending ever.
It's poker decks all over again.
It's the most MetaZoo ending you can possibly imagine. It's the fat lady singing. It's sold through Rudy, and nobody ever gets it.
Like his playmats for Sorcery. All right, everybody.
They were stolen in the port.
I hear a fat lady singing. This is the end of the podcast. Oh, never mind. That's just George.
Go to Starbucks after this.
Thank you for watching the podcast,
Starbucks.
Everyone. Go.
I don't know. Why are you guys so opposed to the word Starbucks?
It's a little lame.
Don't diss me. Don't diss me, bro.
Make sure you go subscribe to Josh's channel over at Hometown TCG.
Hometown TCG.
Go join the Discord.
You do read the comment section. That's what I'm learning.
Go join the Discord server at KitchenTableTCG.com. Support our channels if you believe in our content. And remember to be kind to the people around you. Go buy Booster Snacks. The code is collect50 at boostersnacksus.com.
And shout out to the viewers who made it so I can't eat chips this week.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing. And
somebody sent me the clip. You guys were horrific with it.
Yeah, but George, that's part of the podcast. I'm sorry, but we are not.
That's what we hear when you give a MetaZoo take, buddy.
Yeah, we are
it's
not
the same
professional podcast that you apparently and those viewers thought that we were. We like to joke about.
I notice this when I have to do the topics every week.
Have a great day, everybody. Remember to be kind to the people around you. May the zoo be with you,
and also with you, Louie.
With you.
May the
Booster Snacks
be with you.